years, I stayed for 5 years full time, and then our grandchildren start being born there, so my wife said, well, I want to be a grandmother. And so I asked her for a part-time, and this is what I am now. But what about the story? The story is another one. Okay, so I was here in, and was 198, yes, 198. And one day I started thinking, well, I'm a Catholic, of course, and so I trust what the gospel said, and so I said, well, what is my life? Yes, it's not bad at all. I have children, I have a very wonderful spouse, and we are still together for the 45-year marriage. And, but I was not so pleased. So just, I don't know, just a foolish idea started in my mind. I said, okay. The idea was, perhaps it is still a full idea, but I will tell you all the story. The idea was this: well, why don't you try to write a book, and if the book is successful, okay, you can give all what you get to the poor. If the book is successful, perhaps you can help somebody, okay? And so, during the first days, I said, well, okay. And then I started writing, okay? I started writing. And it was strange, because sometimes I was not able to write one word. Some other time I was able to write for 2-3 hours completely. And in 2 years, I finished the book, okay? I finished the book, and this was finished so in the year 2000. Oh my goodness. I take too much time. In the year 2000, and then I sent the book to many publishing companies in Italy, but the situation of the publishing company is almost the same all over the world. They are very cautious to accept the book. So only a very small publishing company accepted the book. Okay. Accepted the book, and this was in 2003. Let's see. And the book is this one. So you can, of course it's in Italian, but I can tell something else about the book, and you can see from here, so what is this? Make me an instrument of your peace. You understand what it is? Okay, it's St. Francis. Yeah. Why? And what is that? It's an old fisherman, all right? So I imagine that there is in an island, okay, of course I didn't mention Dominique, I said that one of the many islands, you will see something. I imagine that there was a fisherman, but that this fisherman has the spirituality of St. Francis. So is because I believe that the message of St. Francis is still very, very, very actual, of course, also today. And so someone could live a life that follows that message, okay? And this was my starting point. And this starting point is also mentioned here. This a little note at the beginning of my book. I have already mentioned this. The book comes from a conviction and a promise. The sayings are here. And what I think is that are the real sayings of course, also the saints that we know from the church, but the real saints are this one, okay? Because it is so. It is so, as the poor that are the real saints, okay? And because of this, I tried to tell the story of one of these. That's the poor fisherman, okay? The poor fisherman. Now, the book, of course, had no success at all, because, why? Perhaps because it's a bad book. Perhaps also because there is another reason. I am not convinced that my book is so bad. I'm not convinced that it is so good, but I'm not convinced that it's so bad, because everyone that had already read the book said the book is very good. Of course, there were few people. My friend, my wife, my sons, and so on. But they said so. And so later on, and this happened 1 year ago, and perhaps this happened too late, I decided another thing. Okay, I needed to have a broader audience for this book. And I started to translate the book in English. Of course, I have a very bad person for English. My wife is a teacher of English, so with the aid of my wife, I start translating the book. So what you will see in these other 10 minutes, no more, are some part of the book that can refer to the question that you asked in this. What if I have to die tomorrow? What can I tell to the world? And this is my book. So let's have something else. All right. Yeah. Well, this is just the introduction, just to show you that the book is from here. Okay. The town. I start to describe the town of the west side of the island. This is Portsmouth, of course. It's not written there, because the island is one of the many islands scattered on the ocean along the Tropic of Cancer, but it is Dominica, of course. And so the promontory, the wreck, and all the other description is a description that now is a little bit better Portsmouth, but when I came here, this was, okay, you know, the roads were full of holes, the shore were open, up to intertwine of wires hanging from the electric pole, okay, and so on. All this description. And okay, that's it. I don't want to bother too much with this. Let's see instead now something that is more related to the essence of the book. Okay. In the third chapter, this very young fisherman, he knows a very poor man that is a fool, is a very serious schizophrenic man that lives in a cellar on the promontory, like an animal.